Edge designations, CFA Level 1 revision and exam program for the 2023 exam cycle. Let me introduce myself. My name is Russell Jude, and of course, yes, I'm a CFA charter holder. I'll be taking you through this particular presentation and just letting you know what you can expect from the CFA Level 1 exam. What I want to do is I want to break this video down into two components. Number one is looking at the CFA exam from the CFA point of view, which is probably the best way to look at it from. Okay, what you can expect in the exam, okay, the breakdown of the exam, the structure of the exam, and all good things like that. And number two, I want to conclude this particular video with letting you know what edge designations as a prep provider to the CFA Institute can do for you for the exam. First and foremost, just to remember, of course, that there are 4 times that we can write CFA Level 1 in 2023. You've got February, May, August, and November. We'll go through those dates in a bit more detail as we go through the presentation. But remember, okay, the exam syllabus, etc., remains the same throughout 2023. First and foremost, just before we do anything, what I want to do is just have a quick look at what your exam will look like. Okay, first and foremost, when you come to write your exam, remember, okay, that CFA is now exclusively what we call CBT. It's computer-based testing. Okay, they've moved completely away from paper-based. The intention always was to move to computer-based, albeit that COVID accelerated their process somewhat. Okay, so everything is computer-based. So you're going to write, you're going to book yourself exam seat to write in one of the exam centers. Okay, you get your computer, you get your time, just watch for those times, make sure you arrive on time at the correct time, correct day of course as well, and then you are sitting there by your computer. Okay, when you come in initially, of course, you would take a 30-minute period. You sign the pledge, tutorials just to show you exactly how the computer works. Okay, always advisable, guys, CFA does make available a small tutorial to you before you write. Okay, please go through that as well, just to make sure you are comfortable with it. There's nothing worse than when you are adequately prepared for the exam itself, but you get thrown off a little bit by the process or the technology or things like that, and that can cause some people to become a little bit undone. So let's get that right first. So just have a look at that. They do send out a little bit of a tutorial and a bit of a practice that you can do beforehand, just to make sure you are familiar with how everything works. Okay, let's have a quick look at the actual exam itself. Okay, the exam, and I'm just giving you a little bit of a history lesson over here. It used to be a 3-hour paper. 3-hour paper used to be 180 minutes, of course. Okay, and there used to be 120 questions, multiple choice questions, and of course that translated into 90 seconds a question. Okay, what they then did is they reduced the time of the exam, and they made it, they took it down from 3 hours to 2 hours 15 for exam session 1 and for exam session 2. So your exam time, your actual writing time, okay, is 2 hours and 15 minutes, and that goes now across the board between CFA Level 1, Level 2, and Level 3. That is 2 hours and 15 minutes, which corresponds, of course, to 135 minutes. What they've then done is they've reduced the number of questions as well. So the maths is easy, isn't it? So you just need to take 135 minutes and you divide by 90 questions, and you get to, again, exactly the same thing, no change. You have got to answer your multiple choice questions in this exam in 90 seconds per question. Is that quick? Yes, it's quick. Can it be done? Of course it can be done. Okay, but it is quick. You've got to move through them relatively quickly. A good thing about this, and we'll talk about this more as we go through exam technique, is that CFA Level 1, each question that you've got is a stock standard, standalone question. So let's say, for example, you're doing question number 1, and you don't even know, you're not even sure if it was in the syllabus. That's how odd it looks. Okay, all you do is you wave it goodbye, and you move on to question number 2 with the full knowledge that Question number 2 is a completely different question, not related to question 1, so you're in a good position then to answer question number 2. Okay, as we move through the levels, level 2 and level 3, yes, the questions are much more interconnected. Not so for level 1, they're all individual questions. So if you don't know the answer to it, you wave it goodbye and you move on. People always laugh when I say this, but when you come to a question, okay, you don't know anything about it, pick an answer quick, whichever one you like, A, B, or C. I always tell people, pick before you go into the exam, decide which one you're going to go with. For all your unknowns that you don't know, and we hope that there are not many of them, but you're going to either go A's, all B's, or all C's. Don't try and guess A, B, C, different ones for different answers. If you don't know it, go all A, okay, or all B, or all C. For those that have studied probability, you'll know your chances are a little bit better if you do it that way. Okay, and then what I always say is if you come to one of these answers, you don't know what it is. You read the question, it's taken you 10 seconds, you don't know what it is, you wave goodbye to it, you move on to the next question, and you say thank you. Okay, people always say, well, why do you say thank you if you don't know the answer? Okay, you say thank you because you've got a bit more time to answer the remaining questions. We don't stress, we don't panic. You take a nice deep breath and you say, well, I wasn't going to get it anyway. My choice of answer for all the unknowns is A, so I put down an A and on I go, and I've got more time to answer the other questions where I stand a much better chance of answering them. There we go. Okay, so you've got 90 seconds. Can it be done? Of course it can. Is it quick? Yes, it's quick. Okay, everybody by now I'm sure knows the structure. The structure for the MCQs are A, B, and C. Okay, we now call them exam session 1 and exam session 2. It used to be the AM and the PM session, the morning and the afternoon session, because that's how they used to be broken down when they were paper based. So if you hear anybody talking about the morning session or afternoon session, the AM or the PM, that's just a little bit of old history that's how they used to work in the past. Okay, exam session 1 is broken down into 4 of your 10 topics. Ethics is there, quants, economics, and financial statement analysis. Those 4 topics are covered in exam session 1. When we say they covered in exam session 1, it means that's the only place you're going to see them. Once you have finished exam session 1, okay, and you take yourself a hopefully 30-minute optional break. I don't advise going straight into the next exam. Take a bit of a breather, get something to eat, to drink, bathroom, fresh air, whatever works best for you, before you start exam session number 2. And once you've done exam session number 1, you could be rest assured you will not be seeing any more ethics, quants, ecos, and financial statement analysis. You take your break, you come back for exam session number 2, carbon copy in terms of its structure of timing and ABCs. Here you've got the remaining 6 of your 10 topics: corporate issuers and equity, fixed income, derivatives, alts, and portfolio. Okay, now that we've said that those are the major topics, as everybody knows, in CFA level 1 and both level 2, there are 10 topics: ethics, quants, economics, financial statement analysis. Those are your first 4, all covered in exam session 1. And corporate issuers used to be called corporate finance, equity, fixed income, derivatives, alts, and portman. That makes up the total 10. Remember, it's a carbon copy in CFA level 2. You get exactly those same 10 topics. But there's a little bit of a difference in terms of the structure, and for this I'm going to go on to the next page. Okay, and if you look over here, okay, remembering again that for your first exam session, let's exam session number 1, okay, that's over there. And there's exam session number 2. And what do you notice? CFA have now not only broken it down into topics, which we know there are 10 topics, they've also broken them down into what we call functional areas, of which there are 4 functional areas. Now, when we talk about these 4 functional areas, what do we see? Ethics is a standalone, and the remaining 3 for exam session 1, quants, economics. Okay, let me just give them their order title. So we're going to call quants number 2 because ethics is number 1. Economics will give a 3-2, and financial statement analysis is a 4. What you can expect in your exam, okay, because people often ask this, do they mix the various topics up? Okay, they do mix them up within functional area. What does that mean, that they mix them up within functional area? For example, in functional area number 2, called tools, you can get one quants question followed by an economics question followed by another quants question followed by 2 financial statement analysis questions followed by 3 quants questions. They can mix all of those up. However, within each functional area, they are constant. So what can you expect based on that? When you're doing functional area number 1 in your exam, which is called ethics, you're only going to find ethics questions because ethics is the only topic that falls into that particular functional area. So what you're going to have is you're going to have all your ethics questions, nothing else, just ethics over there. Then you're going to finish that up. Then you move to functional area 2, which is called tools. And then, yes, they will mix up the questions within tools between quants, economics, and financial statements analysis. Okay, there we go. And again, let's move down and let's have a look at what will be in exam session 2. Well, you've got portfolio management and analysis as your first one. What falls into there? Well, you've got corporate issuers, called corporate finance, and portfolio management. Now, within that particular functional area, those are the only 2 topics examined. So you might get 3 corporate issuers questions, 1 portman question, another corporate issuers question, 4 portman questions, etc. They will mix them all up. But that's all you're going to get in that section until you come to your assets, which are equities, fixed income, derivatives, and alternatives. Within the assets section, of course, you're going to get that same mix. You might get 1 equities question, a derivatives question, followed by 2 fixed income questions, 3 alts questions. They will mix them all up. But when you're in your assets section as a functional area, there will be no questions, guys, then on portfolio management or corporate issues. You are done with that section in functional area number 3, called portfolio management and analysis. Okay, so I hope I've made that fairly clear in terms of what you can expect in your exam. Okay, when we now look over here at the various exam weights, okay, just to explain how CFA work, and then of course how we at Edge work as well, just to try and give you some guidance. And I'll work a little bit with ethics. If you look at ethics, ethics says you've got an exam weight of between 15 and 20%. So it's a little bit vague in a sense because it doesn't give you an exact amount that you're going to get. We don't know. But let's just work out some of the maths over here together just to make sure we know what we are doing. We understand what that means. So we know in total there are 90 multiple choice questions. We know there are 2 exam sessions. That gives me a total, you can expect, guys, of 180 multiple choice questions. If the total exam weight for ethics is 15 to 20%, so let's go there, we times it by 15%, and here let's times it by 20. Okay, 15 at 15%, I will be getting, that's on the lower end of the range, I'll get 27 MCQs, and on the high end I can expect 36 MCQs. We've taken at Edge a bit of an average, which I do. The reason I do that is I've got to get to some kind of a number when we prepare practice exams for you, of which we've got 6 for you. Okay, I've got to have some kind of guideline to work with, so I'll just take a little bit of an average. And you might well say, but 30 is not the average of 27 and 36. Yes, I know that, of course. We just try and give it a bit of guidance over there, work within the range where we believe your questions will fit. But again, it's completely Edge's guidance, nothing more than that. That's not what you can expect, exactly 30 questions. Okay, what you can expect is exactly between 27 and 36. Okay, and you can see the range. There's a range exam weight for all of the topics. Okay, there we go. Of course, you can see if one has to say, well, what are my most important topics? I'll say they're all important, but in terms of exam weight, ethics carries quite a bit, 15 to 20, and financial statement analysis follows second on with a very high weighting of 13 to 17%. Okay, and that's what your exam is going to. So when you do your ethics questions, let's just say, for example, Edge was right, okay, in our estimation, okay, and you're going to do 30 ethics questions followed by approximately 17 quants questions, 17 ecos questions, and then 26 financial statement analysis questions, and that will then give you 90 questions and be the end of exam session 1. We've done exactly the same thing then for exam session 2, where we've done a bit of a breakdown between the various topics over there. Okay, so I hope by now you've got a bit of a sense of what your exam will look like. 90 marks in exam session 1, 90 marks in exam session 2, and of course we know what is going to be in each exam session. Exam session 1, ethics, quants, ecos, financial statement analysis. Exam session 2, corporate issuers, portman, equity investments, fixed income, derivatives, and alternatives. Okay, and we've got our exam weight over there. Look at the exam itself, guys. Okay, there are 4 windows at the time of this recording. Okay, we only had the CFA dates for 3 of them, but of course we do know there will be a November window in here as well. We are just waiting for dates for those CFA dates. Okay, the Feb window. Okay, 14th of Feb. What an auspicious day. Okay, and why is it to the 20th of Feb? Why have we got this, what we call quite a large, long exam window? Same thing for May, 16 May to 22 May, and August, 22 to 28 August. The reason we've got these fairly long and broad-ranged windows is because we don't have enough computers. Okay, what does that mean? That means the exam centers cannot accommodate everybody all at the same time, like we used to do for paper-based. When we had a paper-based testing, it was amazing to see every single candidate worldwide wrote on the same day. So they had to hire out these massive halls, massive venues, logistically not easy, but everybody wrote on the same day. When you're now working on computers, because we've moved now to CBT, computer-based testing, okay, then everybody writes within an exam window because there's not enough computers to accommodate everybody on the same day. I'm not going to talk too much about the various cans and can'ts for the actual exam day and the exam. You do have some strong guidance given to you by the CFA for that, what can be done in the exam, what can't be done. It's not the purpose of this particular video. Just please remember, guys, remember your right calculator. At your Texas Instruments, it's the BA2 Plus or the Professional, and those that prefer HP, Hewlett Packard, it's the 12C, and it's only those two. You cannot write with any other computer calculator. They won't let you write. So please remember your calculators. And for those that are a little bit more nervous, 2 options for you. Bring in another calculator. In other words, bring in 2 calculators. And what some like to do is the night before the exam just to change the batteries, put brand new batteries into their calculators, just to make sure that their current calculator will last for the full 4.5 hours of exam time. Either one works, and if you're not auspicious or nervous at all, you can just go in with your normal calculator. There we go. Okay, now hopefully I've given you a little bit of guidance, guys, thus far in terms of what you can expect from the CFA exam itself. Yeah. What I want to just have a quick look at is what the EDGE program can do for you, okay, and just to show you what is available that we have as a prep provider. Okay, option number 1, if you have to look on our website, I should have actually put that there for you, that would have helped. Let me put it down over here for those that are interested. Okay, and the website is EDGE, but a bit long-winded, okay, but it tells you what we do, edgedesignations.com. Okay, and yes, we do designations, CFA, FRM, and KIA. Those are our designations. Okay, take a look on our website, and option number 1 is an online program. If you are watching this revision video and you've come thus far in the video, you probably have already finished your studying, so the online program may be of less interest to you because it is a comprehensive set of notes, a comprehensive set of videos on the entire syllabus, a formula sheet, and a QBank. So everything that you need for your studies, but it may be a bit late now. If you're only starting to study now, well, my advice is you may be late for Feb. Okay. If you're writing in any other date, okay, you may have time. Okay, depending on where you are in your studies and depends on which exam date you have picked. But that's an online, it's a complete online offering. There we go. Option number 2 is more what this video relates to, which is the revision and exam program, which gives you a complete set of revision notes. And of course, if you wanted to compare the notes for option 1 and option 2 are very different. The notes for option 1 are very detailed. The notes for option 2 are revision notes. Okay, everything we keep in PDF format, of course, guys, so it's nice and easy for you to print and download if you wish. Aligned in option 2 to the notes or videos, around about 24 hours. I would tell the guys, if you take a 3-day weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Saturday, Sunday, Monday, you can go through the entire CFA Level 1 syllabus in that weekend if you have the energy, capacity, and strength to go through 8 hours of video per day. Okay, option 2 includes a formula sheet as well, and 6 exams on the electronic QBank. And a lot of guys I'm finding more and more still prefer to write the exams paper, pen, etc. But I do advise you, when you get to this stage of the practice exams, please do them on our platform. Okay, and the reason for that, of course, is because it's going to give you practice in answering in terms of the real exam. Just remember, of course, guys, that you don't want the first time that you write an exam on the computer to be in the exam itself, the real exam. You need to do a bit of practice, just a bit of fitness before that, just to make sure you are ready for that. Okay, option 3 is a question bank. If you just want questions, what about 2,000 I think odd questions available for you on the syllabus. Option 4, some people just want a complete set of notes over there. I do see over here we have subsequently, due to demand, I'll make myself another block over here, which we're going to call option 5. Option 5 is if you just want to buy the exams. So these 6 exams from there, you can just buy those as a standalone if you don't wish to take the revision component with it, which is revision notes and video, just to give you a bit more of an a la carte type of a menu, so you can buy whatever you are looking for specifically. That's what Edge can do for you. That's our programs. Hopefully I've given you a bit of a sense, guys, in terms of what CFA exam is going to look like. That then will bring us to a conclusion of this video. I'm going to wish everybody the most amount of success. We don't wish luck, because people that have studied well don't need luck. Okay, we just wish you success. And go out and most of all, as you go through this process, enjoy the process. Okay, and yes, most success to you all, and hopefully we will see you all then in CFA Level 2.